So how has seeing women changed you as a person?
Oh, in so many ways. It has been the greatest driver of work and effort in my life. Because the only thing that I did when I was younger was just play video games. Video games, porn, wasting away, junk food. At 17 years old, when I wanted to actually go and get girls, the first thing I did was get into the gym. I didn't go to the gym for me or for the boys. You know, guys say like, "Oh, yeah, just do it for yourself." For myself, I'll play video games. If girls didn't exist, I'd be just playing games and eating junk food and stuff all day. The greatest source of motivation a man will have, especially a man with like healthy levels of testosterone and desire, is for a woman. Whether it's just for the pleasure seeking, like the thrill of the hunt, or it's actually you want to reproduce, you want to further your bloodline, you want a good woman that will have your children. It has an insane source of inspiration. So it's the starting point of my journey was actually because I wanted to get girls. That's why I got into the gym. A few years later, I needed to get more social and be in university and know like what to do in parties and how to interact with other men, how to give a good handshake, how to defend yourself in social situations. Then a few years later, then it was business. We don't need much. Let's be honest. As young men, especially, give me a mattress on the floor and a roll of toilet paper, and I'm fine. But when you add in women, you add in the lifestyle. Suddenly, it's like, oh, I'm gonna go and get my hair groomed. I'm gonna go keep myself in top tier shape. I don't want little spots or anything. I'm gonna make sure I start to remove them. I'm gonna clean up my diet. I'm gonna network with even stronger men. I'm gonna put in more effort because that's my source of inspiration. So most of the things that I've done, I'll actually confidently admit that I've actually done it in some way because of women. There's guys who I believe just either lie or just aren't self-aware enough who say, I don't do it for girls, I just do it for me. And I just feel like that's absurd. How are you telling me like the single greatest source of or this, let's say there's two drivers, which is to survive and reproduce. Most of us have got survival sorted. We're not hungry. We've got our needs met. We're not cold or wet or something. Then you've got reproduction. That's the single greatest driver that all of us are striving towards. And so I think you should confidently tap into that.
Maybe it varies though, because there must be some people that they need that spark, but it might not necessarily always be girls. It might be you want more respect from your peers, or you want to be taken more seriously, or
I do it because I'm competitive. I want to beat other guys at the game. I know your story this morning. It was like someone else wants what you have. You need to go for it. So yeah, I do it because of the competitive nature. But you seem to want to hide that. When I want to compete with you, you hate the feeling of competition.
my competition is, it sounds cheesy, but it's with myself. So I'm not bothered. Like, I want him to do well. Do you know what I mean? I want him to do well. I just want myself to do better than I was doing last month.
I agree with that, though. I would say I do it for myself as well, because when you're in a long-term relationship, I feel like you don't have to keep doing that stuff. Like when I'm going out in town to get girls, yeah, I'll go get a haircut, throw a watch on, look good. But when you go home to your girlfriend of 8 years, you don't need to do that. If I ain't got my haircut, she don't care. So if I'm not doing it for me,
that's
who's
the point,
it for?
isn't it?
I think that's dangerous
Because
territory.
But also, if you were single right now, would you be at the gym more? Would you be looking better?
Yeah, probably. But then I would say that I would still want to do it for myself. And
that's why people have glow-ups after relationships, because they are back on the market.
If I did that, though, do you think I would just all of a sudden start eating and doing all the things I need to do? I don't think I would.
It depends how bad you want it, I guess.
Yeah, I reckon I'd be all right. I reckon I'd be all right.
It depends what league you're playing in, I guess.
I've been in this stage loads of times where it's like you get the girlfriend, things are awesome. You don't need to have a fresh fade all the time. You don't need to be 10% body fat. And I think that's where the danger lies, because you probably had those things when you attracted her. And I think such a common dynamic in relationships is, let's just use like numbers. You attract each other both as 7s, and then you both become like 6. 5.5 because they love me anyway, and the truth is they do. But we can talk about some primal shit. It's like your girl's gonna walk past a guy who's got a fresh clean fade, who's been practicing eye contact, who's got 10% body fat, and she's not a bad girl for this, but it's like there'll be a little spark of attraction there because you used to be like that. And you'll walk past the girl who's kept herself in better shape, and she's put on makeup and stuff, and you've been hanging out with your girl and she's been wearing comfy clothes with no makeup recently, and it'll almost like hit you of like, oh damn, like like there's really attractive like sexy girls out there. I almost like forgot about it. It's a brutal reality, but
it's the modern day solution then, because surely the goal is to get with the right woman and be monogamous. So that can't continue to drive you forever once you're 5, 8, 10 years deep. You can't do it for yourself because then you get sloppy. So what is the solution?
you still do it for the woman, but you keep your woman in mind, for example, and you think you want to be the best man for her. You actually think to yourself, no, like, I've got a lovely woman. My hair should be nicer whilst in a relationship with her. I should even be like more of a stronger man in a relationship. I don't blame you, because I let myself go all the time. I get into a relationship, I got the big wild beard, and you know, it's like, oh, it's masculine and whatever, you know, I'm like, oh, I've already got her, so I don't need to be lean anymore. Let's just dirty bulk. I gained like 15 pounds and
Just
then just
sit
like,
in and watch Netflix and eat shit food.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
Don't
it's
judge me, Tom.